All right. The camera comes up on a city that never sleeps. We see the rain-slick streets of New San Francisco pulsing with neon light, casting vibrant hues across towering skyscrapers. Hololabs flickering and shifting, promising everything from eternal life to engineered bliss. Drones hum overhead in synchronized flight, their glowing trails weaving through the skyline. Billboards flash, competing for attention with flashing corporate logos, while holograms of models smile down from massive digital displays. The rhythmic hum of the city's machinery mixes with the faint echoes of street music and an occasional distant siren. Far below the gleaming towers, the streets teem to life. Vendors peddle food under buzzing hollow canopies. Shadowy figures slip in and out of alleyways, dodging the gaze of patrolling drones. In the distance, the industrial stacks belch smoke as automated factories run through the night. The Undercity, a labyrinth of decaying infrastructure and forgotten souls, buzzing with the activity of the desperate. Gangs staking their claims, street kids running cons, scavengers picking at bones of a city that offers no rest. As the camera pushes forward, it breaks through to the net. Where do we find Troy?
Troy has just stepped through the darkness. That is the little void that leads to 2600. And as he steps in, he comes across the usual thumping music and atmosphere of 2600, and he looks around, looking for any of his usual familiar faces.
Rez is there, as is a whole host of other people. Passerbys up in his booth.
What's Rez doing?
Sitting at the bar.
Talking to anyone, or just kind of minding her own business?
Working, it seems like. There's holograms around.
All right, yeah, Troy just slowly walks up to Rez in his little Agent Smith visage and just asks, "Hello, Rez. Do you have a moment?"
There's a long pause as she sort of finishes up what she's doing. And then the holograph around her just sort of collapses in, and she looks over. "Oh, Troybot, what are you doing this?" And you see just a quick flick, and she goes, "Night."
Unfortunately, I've come to ask for a favor.
Well, what is the favor?
Me and my companions, the offline ones, are in need of some information, and we believe that you have either the skills or at least the advice to point me in the right direction to find this information. We are willing to offer you compensation as well.
All right, well, let's start with the basics. What's the job?
We are looking for a figure named Elise. She has an association with a few particular individuals that we are interested in. All the information that we've been able to gather from cursory search engines has proven to be inconclusive. We may need more exclusive data on her.
Well, there's a lot of Elises in this world. Got any more than that?
I write down her last name. Hold on a second.
I wrote it in chat.
Thank you. Elise Montag. She has associations with... it's here somewhere.
There's a scroll happening next to Rez. And she goes, oh, okay, I see. Well, a well dive isn't really on my schedule for tonight. That would take too much attention away from what I need to do. But I mean, you could ask around. I mean, it's not the first time. We shop jobs around all the time in the club. See who wants to take what. I can point you in a couple of directions, and you can see if anybody else is interested in taking the job. I'll tell you right now, I don't think a well dive is, well, within your capabilities quite yet. But
I had a feeling you would say that.
there's a few people here, and she sort of glances around. She's like, I mean, Templar could take it. And you see this sort of like futuristic knight clad in like hardened firewall armor, and it's just got a sword strapped to his back that's just pure glowing data. She's like, Templar could take it, and I mean, he's really about like fighting corruption and stuff, and the well's pretty corrupt, but you are going to be stealing data, right?
I'm fairly certain there is no other alternative.
Yeah, he's probably out. He's got this whole, he thinks he's a knight. He's got this whole ethical code. So, I mean, when you need something, you know, honorable done, he'll charge in sword aloft, but let's see. I mean, Glitch would do it just for the sheer shits and giggles of causing some chaos. And she just sort of points, and you see this sort of like broken pixel visage, just distorted images and erratic data streams just sort of coalesced into a form. It's like vaguely coherent, but chaotic. As you know, just standing over there. She's like, you know, Glitch will do it just to cause some chaos. But there's no guarantee that they're gonna get out with the data. They may just, you know, plant a data bomb and run away giggling. You see her just sort of proxy punks over there. And you see her sort of just consult. She's like, I mean, she is a blue blood socialite. You might want to hit up Punk, just because, I mean, and she points. You see this sort of like graffiti urban youth styled fucking, the graffiti's like literally glowing and sort of shifting into new symbols and new slogans and new messages. Definitely a punk rock aesthetic. And like, they want to talk to Punk. I mean, they're all about the, you know, truth to power, anti-establishment stuff. And if you're going to be taking down some socialite bitch, that's maybe your best shot. Yeah, I don't think Grimm's going to be around for a little while. He could do the run.
Is everything all right with Grimm?
Hey, he's fine. It's just not here.
That's it then. Are there any other choices, or?
I mean, you can, like I said, you can ask around, and talk to anybody you want. But yeah, those three are probably going to be your best bet.
Oh, I appreciate your advice. Is there anything I could offer in compensation?
Nope. No, I'm good.
All right. Well, I will pursue your leads and hope for the best.
All right. Well,
I will let you get back to work.
one last piece of advice before you go. People in the well usually have connections, so make sure whatever you're doing doesn't come back to anybody you give a shit about.
That is one of the reasons why I was interested in seeking professional services and not tackling this project on my own just yet.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you. Just Troy pulls off. And looking over the three that she pointed out, he approaches Proxy Punk.
Punk is literally like on the dance floor, like trying to get like, it looks like this kid is trying to like get a mosh pit started. And like in this club where it is, there's techno that goes, there's music that goes, but it's mostly a social club. People don't dance on the dance floor. It's just a hub where people gather. But this dude is like fucking thrashing around and shit, just sort of, and
trying to start a mosh pit while Fireflies is playing.
And people are just sort of not even paying any attention, giving somebody who had maybe more social awareness the idea that this is not unique and that this is a behavior that they have become accustomed to in some regard. And so, yeah.
He's gone.
It's not just me.
I can hear you guys.
Hello?
Fun. I can hear you.
Your camera just died.
I could hear you. I could hear you the whole way through.
Okay, so
it's so weird.
Something weird on this end.
I saw the Discord ping go. Pff.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, just Proxy Punk starting a mosh pit. It's definitely weird, or it's definitely noticeable that this is not the appropriate behavior for this establishment. I think Troy would know enough by this point to know that this is somewhat odd behavior, and Troy just finding idiosyncratics fascinating does just kind of stand back and watch a little bit. Just watching this weird display of trying to mosh out to music that is, even he's aware, is absolutely not appropriate for this, but appreciating the energy in the display nonetheless. Just after giving them a minute to have some fun, he approaches and just asks, "When you have a moment available, I would like to talk to you."
Proxy sort of just fucking... You can tell that Punk is like looking at you, but the groove keeps going, right? And so the avatar is full on like Antifa'd out at this point, right? It is very much face covering. It is black blocked. It is shifting graffiti with slogans, fight to power, fucking, you got the anarchy symbols, you got that sort of thing. But you can tell that there's a pair of eyes there that are looking at you.
There's just kind of this pause in Troy as he's just kind of weirded out a little bit by this behavior. Can't really tell if this is like listening or not, or if this is waiting a moment, but just looking down at this weird dancing balaclava clad figure. He just states, "Rez has informed me that you may be particular to a well dye. I'm looking for information on a couple of individuals that is not easily accessible merely over the net."
A voice that is modulated, it is electronically modulated, comes through. Whatever this person's voice sounds like is not, there's no particular pick here. A lot of people will, for avatar picks, will use a voice. They'll not usually use theirs, but some will. Definitely not in these spaces are they using their actual voices for their avatars. But this is quite literally a digitized voice outright. You can tell that this is purposefully anonymized, and they make no bones about it. That this is just, robot voice choice 01 sort of situation. They're like, yep, get fucked. So this voice comes out and says, fuck those bougie bastards.
Well, we may be interested, or potentially interested in taking one or two of them down a peg, if the term is appropriate.
I mean, who?
Oh my god, my brain almost just said Gavin Newsom. Gavin... What was his...
Bayet.
Thank you. Gavin Bayet and Elise Montauk. We believe they have an association with each other. There is information about them that we need, although I have yet to been specified what exactly. So whatever information that can be gathered about them that is not available online would be necessary, and we are willing to compensate you for this effort.
I mean, I'm not in it for the money, but what you got?
I have an associate who is a very talented engineer. She has created robots, weapons, sophisticated electronics, custom codices, security devices, and even an esoteric programming language. She frequently likes to state herself as a roboticist and avid mad scientist. There's probably a wide range of devices and modifications that she could offer you for your services.
So are we talking freebies or?
You would be required to. Just double check. It would require that they would pay for the materials, but the service is free, right?
Any complicated materials. If it's just simple stuff I can find around, then I'm not even gonna ask them for that. But yeah, if they want something specific high grade, they need to pay for the material, and anything past that, I'm doing.
Any exotic materials you would have to provide for yourself. However, basic materials, coppers or electronics, conductors, we would be able to provide ourselves for free.
Give me a sec.
Kai or Proxy saying that?
Proxy.
Okay.
He's got some things to do. Okay, we're in.
All right. I will. Will you be available here in potentially a day or two?
No.
Oh.
Available now.
I do. Well then, I do not have any specifications on what data we are looking for specifically. Just potentially known aliases, known contacts. You guys are asleep.
So you just want like you just want the residential dossier that the well keeps on their residents, right?
Potentially, if there's any other dirt that you could dig up on Gavin or Elise, I would also appreciate that. That would be very useful to us.
Once I'm in, the core is going to react pretty quickly. So take your pick. What do you want?
Stand by a moment. And Troy just turns away, and all Punk just kind of sees is just Troy turning around and just sort of standing still. And there is Karen's codex starts to ring.
From inside Karen's apartment, the camera starts on Krill, stretched out on the couch. And you hear a faint noise coming from the bedroom. And it's a song as you approach and you slowly can tell that it's domo arigato, Mr. Roboto, domo, and it's slowly getting louder and louder. Karen rustles a little, grabs it. What?
Greetings, Karen. My apologies for contacting you at such a late hour of the night. However, I have someone who's willing to take our deal. I need more information. Did Karen just hang up, or is that?
No, sorry.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't. I need more information. What information are we specifically looking for on Gavin and Elise?
Gavin's business holdings. He owns the shipping company A to B, but there are other interests in that company. Elise has connections to some of those companies, but Gavin is the main one we're interested in.
Thank you. I believe that is all the information I will need to relay to them.
The biggest one that they were connected to that we have any info was North Sea and Transglobal Shipping, I think.
Are there any other connections that we might want to look into?
Possibly Helios, but there's any of the ones from our list, but I think Transglobal was the big one. Besides A2B.
All right. I'll relay that information to our client. Or to whatever the opposite of a client is.
Contractor.
Thank you. I'll relay that information to our contractor.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
You called me.
I'm aware. Is there anything else you would like me to have him look into while he has the opportunity?
Oh, him. Yeah. I mean, is he looking at Elise too?
He will be looking at Elise, yes.
Okay. If we can figure out where Elise. Yeah.
Where Elise lives?
Anything about Elise, yeah. Where she lives would be useful. We know where Gavin lives.
So we want to know information about Gavin's holdings and connections with A2B, and just a simple dossier on Elise.
That would be helpful, yes.
Thank you. I will relay this information to our contractor.
Yeah. If you can get, if they could get where she likes to hang, that would be good. That would be good. Anything else, Troy?
No, I believe that is it. I will allow you to return to sleep.
Good. Click.
And just as soon as the line goes dark on Troy's end, he turns around and states, "Our primary target is Gavin Bayet. We are interested. He's the owner. He owns and runs the shipping company A2B. However, there are other potential interests and connections to them, particularly North Sea, Helios, and especially Transglobal. What are their connections? As far as Elise goes, a simple dossier on her is fine. Where she lives, and particularly where she enjoys to frequent, is all we need on her."
Punk, you think, looks at you and says, "Ooh, what's this change of the deal? I agreed to do a well dive for a residential dossier. I'm not doing a whole host of corporate skims as well. You want me to go diving into 3-4 different companies' accounts as well at the same time? I didn't agree to that."
I see. Well then, suppose we will start out with what you are capable of doing. The dossiers on Gavin and Elise at the well. If that is doable with you, I'm sure we can find a way to compensate you.
You see a side screen come up, but it's blurred from your side. You can see things scrolling by. And then it zips down. And Proxy looks at you. Punk goes, "Gavin doesn't live in the well."
I see.
All of your recon this bad? I mean, 50-50, I suppose. I mean, one of them does live in the well.
I would assume Elise lives in the well.
Yes, she does.
Very well. Did Troy know, or did you guys know and not tell Troy?
We did an entire episode session outside of their place. That's where Patty. Yeah, everybody knew.
Shit.
Everybody knew. I assure you. Yeah, I can.
Sorry.
I can provide the meta on that. Yes, everybody knew.
Sorry, tired. Well then, as information, unfortunately, we already have on Gavin then, but I'll take the information on Elise. You have it. You have frequent, or is there any information on her frequent visits?
Oh, it's not that quick. I'm gonna have to go do the job.
Oh, my apologies.
Give me a roll.
Ah, shit. That's a -1.
Foxy Proxy goes off. You are being pinged.
Troy just kind of backs up a little bit and asks, "Could you not do that right now? I am not trying to deceive you."
It's 2 nodes closer. Punk looks at you and just says, "Trust but verify. So, I need to know how to get into contact with you to claim my prize after all. So, I'm just going to ensure that I can do that."
I can send you the key to contact me securely over an encrypted codex.
Give me a roll.
All right. That's also a -1.
It's 1 node closer. And he looks at you and says, "Okay, send me the key."
All right. Troy takes the key to his little built-in codex and that the little codex chip thingy Krill gave to him and sends it towards Proxy.
Keep in mind, to Proxy, they're just looking at like a shit ton of hexagons with with no listed language symbols on them. Reminder though, Troy, Krill did give you the actual decryption key of her programming as well.
Is this a contactable address?
And yeah, this is basically
Okay.
a phone number to the encrypted codex built on that Krill gave.
Then a message comes up and just with a question mark.
Troy sends an exclamation point back.
Give me a roll.
That is a +2.
The network intrusion stops.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you respecting my privacy.
Your engineer better be better informed than you seem to be.
I believe she is.
All right, you can wait here or you can log off. I'll hit you up when I'm done. It shouldn't be too long.
All right. I can wait here for a little while, but I will have matters to attend to in a few hours. If you're not back by then, you can contact me via the codex.
Punk's avatar just gone.
Just as Troy waits in there, if he could sigh, he would sigh. As he's kind of realizing there's a whole hell of a lot about this thing that he needs to learn, and there's a whole lot that he really doesn't understand. And he kind of has faced another example of humans' tendency to be kind of paranoid. As he just kind of stands there and waits for a little bit, just occasionally wandering around the facility. I don't know. Or occasionally conversing with one of the patrons there, just hanging out. If given a chance to, with one of his original friends. Otherwise, all Troy has to do right now is just wait. And if someone else wants to take it, they can.
So, considering that Troy's doing this as we're basically asleep, do we want to just kind of wake up at a certain point, looking at Karen and Krill?
Well then, if you want to do a time skip, then I have things to do.
We'd still have to pretty much just skip to once Caboose got his results, due to the fact that he said he'd be back in a few hours. I assume in the middle of the night. We probably wouldn't even be waking up by that time.
Patty might be waking
Did
up.
we ever say where Patty was? Did you go home at the end?
Yeah, she went home. She crashed. She tore down a piece of Timmy's whole setup and then just passed out. So
Oh, that's right. That's right.
At least we turned off the holographic projector for you.
yeah, Patty will probably, as the lights are kind of fading from that dull hum of the lights around her, as she opens her eyes and just the light starts to kind of bleed in, she'll look directly at her codex as the light of it lights up in front of her as it points up probably 3:30 in the morning. And just slowly gets up, just checks her messages, sees anything updated, just see if she got any weird random messages in the middle of the fucking night.
None of my doing.
Yep, just making sure. Just gotta check. She looks over the group chat, doesn't see anything. Well, they're probably not gonna be up for a bit. So in this moment, she puts on some athletic shorts and a shirt and just kind of starts stretching and puts in a water bottle on her hip and then just starts getting ready and starts taking a jog out. Early morning, sun's not up yet, light's still kind of dimming down from the highs of the Saturday night, just that early Sunday morning. So she just starts running, just listening to her music as you can hear the footfalls kind of dully through her earbuds as she's passing by people, most probably people who are coming in for the Saturday night probably have crashed at this point, but just making her way. Any updates on any news, any fucking terrorist organizations doxing new people, anything like that, or it's just quiet right now?
It's quiet.
Okay. She keeps running, and then she starts taking a bit of a longer detour. Starts making her way towards the same path she found Karen initially with Ethan. She starts heading down that way, passing by Santabello, and they're just kind of just mindlessly running in that direction. And she's got this knot in her stomach. After heading down to the Sunflower, after kind of doing whatever the fuck that was, she's got this feeling in her stomach as she's listening to music. She turns it up a little bit. It gets more to a metal sound as it's just this overt kind of anger and confusion a little bit in the music. And as she's running, passing by people, very few of them, most of them either taking cars or just the little bit of drones flying over for the late night transport, she kind of slows down as she kind of comes down the intersecting street as she can see where she ran into Karen last time. As that comes, heart beats a little high and she just slows down as she starts slowly walking, just not looking anywhere in particular, but does she see a familiar paranoid journalist at the moment, or does she just walk? Oh. Let me see. Coming from her apartment to Ethan's place, what would you think is the distance for running?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
You're a few miles in.
Mm-hmm. She... She knows where she was, and so be on the opposite side. She actually pulls out like a fucking like a little note card and pulls out like this stupid old pen, and she writes down we need to talk -P friend of K, and then kind of just sticks it up as she like leaps up and just puts it on the bottom of the fire escape where she figures that they came out of. And so she kind of just...
Is there any contact information on that whatsoever?
She's putting P friend of K, indicating Karen, indicating Patty. Basically, she's trying not to say directly who is in there, but just for his paranoid mind and just trying to keep overt contact.
Okay.
And yeah, just starts making her way, and just as she cuts across the street, just starts running again.
As the camera follows Patty, it zooms underneath, and one of her footfalls comes down on top of the camera, just blacking it out. It comes back up. It's just sort of this rotating camera, and it falls and it blacks and it rotates back up. And on the other side, we see the sprawling metropolis that is the net, right? Eternally bathed in that dark yet neon glow. Streets paved with shimmering streams of data. Towering buildings are formed from just cascading lines of code, vast repositories of information. All of a sudden, an avatar flickers into existence. A silhouette of deep blue edged with electric green lines that pulse into existence. Then it goes dark. You see the shape of Proxy Punk. Their eyes you can see glowing with data streams, scanning the horizon. You see through Proxy's eyes. Infiltrate secure servers of Zone 0. Extract residency data. Elise Montauk. You see Proxy's form glitch momentarily. So the graffiti covering their avatar phases in and out. The entire avatar begins to blend with their surroundings. The avatar's code rewriting itself to match the ambient data flow. Now, digital chameleon. They approach port 256, towering gateway adorned with shifting holographic sigils. This guards Zone Zero's access points. The port guarded itself by virtual constructs, formidable watchdogs programmed not to just sniff out, but devour intruders. We hear Punk whisper, "Time to go dark." The flick of their wrist, Punk deploys a veil script, cloaking their signal in a shadowy fog. The watchdogs hesitate, their data streams flickering as they search in vain for the intruder. Punk simply slips past them, merging seamlessly into the port's data streams. The port, sensing their presence, begins to materialize. Security prompts giant holographic locks cascading down in front of them, each spinning with intricate firewalls. A smirk crosses their face, clad in balaclava. Cute. They reach into the folds of their avatar and pull out a lock-picking script, translucent digital tool, its teeth shifting to match the encryption patterns on the locks. Each lock clicks open with a satisfying hum as Punk bypasses layers of security, descending deeper into the Zone Zero's data vault. Inside, the world shifts. A new environment materializes around them. A dazzling maze of light and glass. Endless corridors stretching out in all directions. Walls constructed from fractals of transparent code pulsing with energy. Each path leads to different parts of Zone Zero's database, but only one holds the information they seek. The labyrinth's walls begin to shift and rearrange, responding to Punk's presence. It's an adaptive defense, designed to disorient and trap intruders within an endless loop of data. But it's not Punk's first time in an adaptive data stream. They raise their hand and a hollow map unfurls before them, a holographic overlay of the labyrinth structures, paths illuminating in a soft cyan glow. They study the patterns, searching for anomalies, and then there it is, a faint flicker in the lower quadrant, almost imperceptible. Gotcha. Punk dashes forward, their movements fluid, precise. The labyrinth responds, attempts to ensnare them with walls of light, but they're too fast, too agile. Each time the maze shifts, they anticipate that change, ducking, weaving through the crystalline corridors until they reach a dead end. Grinning, Punk saunters forward. At the end of the corridor, a faint glimmer, a hidden access point. Invisible to the untrained eye, Punk deploys a Wraith key, a thin blade of code that slices through the illusion, revealing a passageway that leads straight into Zone Zero's most guarded data vault. The corridor opens into a vast, dark chamber, the center of which hovers a colossal orb of data, pulsating with a rhythm that echoes throughout the room. Surrounding the orb are layers of firewalls, each more formidable than the last, rotating in a complex dance of light and shadow. This is Zone Zero's core, the heart of its security, where most of the resident data is stored, encrypted beyond the reach of everyday script kiddies. Mosh pit it is then. Punk begins the hack. They launch a torrent wave, a barrage of decoy attacks that swarm the outer firewalls, forcing them into overdrive as they attempt to fend off the assault. While the firewalls are distracted, Punk slips through the gaps, using another phase shift to ghost through the remaining barriers. Each layer brings new challenges. Quantum locks that require precise timing, viral traps that lash out with tendrils of malicious code. Punk counters with skills and finesse, deploying counter scripts, rewiring circuits, and outmaneuvering every obstacle. Finally, they reach the core, the orb now within arm's reach. They extend their hand, and a decryptor materializes, a sleek needle-like instrument that pierces the orb's surface. As it does, streams of data flow out, coiling around Punk's arm, feeding directly into their system. The information pours in: addresses, profiles, security clearances. Punk scans for Elise Montag's data, and there it is, her residence in Zone 0 and her profile data. Punk rock. As Punk withdraws the decryptor, the room shudders, a warning. The system has detected the breach, and alarms begin to blare. Red lights flood the chamber as firewalls begin to collapse inward, ready to crush the intruder. With a chuckle, can't make it too easy, can they? Punk initiates an echo protocol, creating a hyper-realistic, dynamic digital after-image of themselves that remains behind, continuing to interact with the system as they make their escape. The orb, confused by the decoy, directs its defense measures at the echo, buying Punk precious seconds. They retrace their steps through the collapsing labyrinth. Their avatar blurs, the corridors of light twist and close in on them. The watchdogs from earlier have been reactivated, their snarling forms pursuing them through the maze. Almost there, almost there, almost there. They reach the exit point, the holographic locks reappearing, now twice as secure. Without missing a beat, Punk deploys a pulse wave, sending a shockwave of code that disrupts the locks, just long enough for them to slip through. The moment they exit, the portal behind them slams shut, the last echoes of the collapsing labyrinth fading into silence. Punk stands on the other side, slightly shaken, but grinning beneath their mask. The data they needed is secured, now safely stored in their encrypted drives. The net's dark cityscape stretches out before them once more. Mission complete, Punk's avatar dissolves into the data stream, leaving no trace of their presence. Troy, your codex goes off. It's just a check mark.
Troy sends a little thumbs up emoji. And I think we still find him at 2600. It's a few hours into the night. It's approaching time when when about Sabine should be waking up. And Troy is either waiting for the information to be delivered to his codex or for Punk to appear.
A few moments go by. An eternity in the net. Maybe a minute in the real world. And Punk's avatar appears on the dance floor, already fucking moshing out. Glances over at you and just does this. And you see a little holographic stream come out. And a screen pops up on your holodeck. And it says, initiate secure transfer.
Troy presses accept. Jesus Christ, you had this prepared.
A message comes across and says, I'll be in touch for payment.
Troy just gives a nod and says, or just replies over the message, looking forward to it. And Troy just briefly opens up this information real quick before just gives it a quick scanning over, realizing, just impressed with the thoroughness of this dossier before closing it and logging back or giving one last nod towards Punk before logging off and returning back to the real world, where he looks around and awaits Sabine, or just slowly starts tidying the place up, awaiting for Sabine to wake up, trying to be as quiet as he can. During the process, he does send a text to Carrie, stating, just stating some information has been acquired. Brain. We'll infer
You're very
in person.
tongue-twisted.
Having a hard time keeping my brain started. Just trying not to wake Karen up again with a full-on call. Troy just prepares for Sabine's awakening.
Great. As the morning rolls around and the city begins to rouse itself, Patty, having been out for quite some time at this point, running around.
She's just drenched in sweat, and there's one point where she got like a little distracted, and so there's like a thin film of rainwater that kind of hit her as she ran through it by accident. She kept going, but now she has like this strong stench all over her that she has to like quickly wash off and make sure she doesn't get any acid burns from whatever's in it.
As 6 a.m. rolls around, just the mere mention of 6 a.m. Like, yeah, I can see that face, Aspen. As 6 a.m. rolls around, Sabine begins to wake. Her sort of normal, just rhythmic, middle manager type life. Right? She's the type of woman who's awake at 6 a.m. even on the weekends, sort of thing, right? You know, she wakes up at the exact same time, alarm clock or not. And so, yeah, she begins to wake up, and you hear her stirring. She, coffee. And she opens her eyes and she just looks around the room and goes, "How do we do coffee?"
Ryan just looks around and notices that this room barely has any amenities at all, including
It's got a bathroom. It's got a hollow screen in it with an outside feed. It's got a table, a chair, and a bed.
I figured it's probably not even going to have like a little microwave or a kitchenette sort of thing. Just Troy looking around and states, "Well, I can either go get some for you while you are getting ready for the day, or I can wait for you to get ready and we can leave together."
She sort of just... "I need clothes."
I can stop by a clothing boutique, perhaps, between here and coffee.
That'll work.
I cannot promise you anything too extravagant.
Okay.
Point taken. And Troy just leaves and gets into the car and heads out to pulls up his own little internal map of NSF and plots a course to the nearest coffee shop and just getting a few stores that might sell clothing. Nothing too expensive. maybe whatever the NSF equivalent of a Walmart is.
Okay. Yep. You definitely can find a corner store with coffee. You can definitely find sort of a thrifty store to find your way into. What type of clothes are you going to pursue for her?
Generally speaking, it's going to be within the color range that she was already wearing, which wasn't it like some kind of gray-ish bluish suit or something like that?
Imagine what Hillary Clinton was notorious for wearing. Just gray.
Yeah,
just
gray.
Just a
It's
gray
boring.
pantsuit.
So, I don't think even the cyberpunk Walmart would sell something quite as sophisticated as a pantsuit, but he'll get her a decent pair of pants, just some gray corduroy pants,
Okay.
and a gray long sleeve t-shirt. 100% cotton.
Okay.
Or 100% trademark cotton. Real
Yes.
cotton.
Oh. God, that is a cursed gift. Of course, anything featuring Hillary Clinton is cursed.
You don't think she's not with the LGBTs?
No, I sincerely do. I've thought she's a lesbian for years.
And yet she's been fucking terrible in supporting us over the years.
She sure doesn't give a shit about Clinton or about Bill
I mean,
whenever he, goes off.
would you?
Yeah, so it's relatively plain clothing that he acquires for her. Just some gray corduroy pants and a gray long sleeve t-shirt.
Cool. Yep, you can easily acquire that. You've got enough to cover those sorts of expenditures in your little slush fund. And yeah, when you get back, she is freshly showered, and she walks out in bra and panties and just hand out for the clothes and the coffee. Like, she's got the hand like literally like this for the clothes, and she's got the hand ready to receive a coffee cup.
Troy is absolutely not at all taken aback by, someone naked, let alone someone half naked, as he just quite delicately hands her the clothing and the coffee.
The clothes she just sort of, does this with, and then, oh, yeah. All right. All right. All right. And she just turns around and goes back into the bathroom and closes the door.
Troy just kind of stands there for a little while, just waiting for Elise to finish up whatever humans have to do. As he...
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, he peruses the data just a little bit. Nothing in it particularly too relevant to him. It's mostly just human stuff, as far as he's concerned. Mostly just going over it to pass the time while Elise does stuff. Otherwise, Troy is just...
Yeah, the amount of time that would
idly.
take Troy to peruse that dossier is 0.001
it's a
seconds.
second.
He's like, oh, I'll just pass some time and read it, and done.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll read it a 10th time, and done.
There actually is a message in between after the 10th read and waiting for her to come out. There's just a message on the group chat, says reporting in. How's everything going? Thumbs up. Just messaging to the general group, but if anybody wants to respond, they can.
There's a ping back just stating Elise has coffee.
Patty just responds back, Elise?
Damn it. Slight retcon. Sabine has gone.
I'm keeping it and just saying, Troy, do you need to shut down for a bit? Do you need a switch off for shifts?
My apologies. Elise has provided me with some rather contradictory data. It has caused a minor processing glitch in my word processing.
It's okay. We all stumble over our words on occasion. Just checking in.
So have you done anything with this data, or is it still sitting with you?
It's still sitting with me.
Okay.
I'm reading over it right now and typing it all down.
Why are you typing? You just copy and paste it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just indicating, like, as a whole.
Go to the extent, provide them in PDF, perfectly formatted.
I know, but like, I need to have it in my mission notes. It needs to have a separate place for me to refer to, just in case.
So,
Fucking Zotero. It was a mistake giving Wordy Zotero.
I'm providing a revenue stream to a third-party technology company. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Technically, you're giving the incentive to Kufer,
Yeah.
while I'm just rolling free off of Zotero.
Yeah. Okay. So it is 6:30. What are Karen and Krill still asleep?
This is 6:30 Sunday?
Yes. Karen's like, yep.
Krill, however, is awake and has placed an order for some French toast to be delivered to them, as per Karen's request. She also has found a leaky tap that was driving her nuts in the middle of the night, and as she got up, she's just fixing it. She just can't help it.
Fair enough. Give me give me a roll, not for whether you can or can't fix it, but give me a roll.
That is my worst roll ever.
Finally, it happened to someone else.
Okay, so that's a -2 to stealth. Yeah. You can obviously fix a leaky tap. That's no big deal. But fixing plumbing quietly, without your tools necessarily, that's a whole thing. So there was some banging, there was some, fucking wrenching. The pipes definitely got rattled a bit. So Karen, this is what you wake up to. Is somebody fixing your plumbing in your bathroom.
Oh. Yeah. The door flies open. Just, what the fuck are you doing?
Krill takes her head out from under the sink. You've had a corrosive leaky tap. I fixed it. I realized I didn't have my tools. I'm sorry for the noise. French toast is on the way.
Coffee too?
Yeah, no, of course.
I'll forgive you when the coffee's here.
Sounds good. I got myself a milkshake that's flavored. I realized that was an option, because I've been having those Nutri-Shakes for all my life. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get a milkshake with flavor.
What flavor did you get?
Okay, so they had all these like chocolate, caramel, and all these things that like don't even know remotely what they taste like. But I saw blueberry, and you know how many animals in documentaries lose their mind over eating blueberries? It's called a blue moon milkshake. I'm very excited. You want to have some? By all means.
Yeah, blueberries, okay.
Also, yeah, so if I didn't fix his tap as a heads up, probably in like 3 weeks, the water damage would have cost you like 2,000 credits to get it fixed.
Okay.
But
I don't need to deal with that, so thank you.
Why? Kai, why are you posting that in chat?
What?
Thank you for expressing the image I needed to express. It was me coming out of the bedroom.
Yeah, I still can't believe you photoshopped that over me sleeping once before.
For anybody watching, it's the creepy Velma from the reboot series.
Oh, that was a great moment.
Fine, fine. At least you have food and coffee on the way.
Also, I'm hoping Troy gets back my message soon, and Troy, you receive a message asking about how the job go, and do I have any layout on the kind of work I'm going to be doing.
You get a reply back. First figure, or the primary target was, or the contractor was unwilling to pursue primary target. Contractor was willing to pursue secondary target. Contractor will be contacting me shortly for compensation. So got what that word was.
Keep me informed on the latter. So, Karen,
Will do.
job was good. We got information on Elise.
And Gavin?
I was told primary target was not in listed location.
You
Yeah, I
got
don't
the
know what that-
message stated contractor was unwilling to pursue primary target.
Contractor was unwilling to pursue primary target. Yeah, I'm not sure why either. We'll ask Troy about that when we get his ear.
Okay.
You got like an ETA for like 30 minutes on that French toast if you want to like get that power, get that last bit of catnap in.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. I'll take a shower
Fair
instead.
enough. And with that, Krill doesn't say anything. She just gets up and says, "Enjoy," and leaves the bathroom.
Kara doesn't even wait for her to leave the room and is starting to already like drop her clothes.
And the moment Krill just like puts her hands like this, is like, "Okay, enjoy the shower. I'm gonna go die
You
now."
sure you don't want to make some more as the door closes?
Karen knows at this
Alright.
point.
Worth a shot.
That moment when Karen realizes she can put virgin in the title of content with Krill. And it's like, oh, the money-making capabilities.
Oh, that was the instant you swapped bodies. Yeah. No, Karen was like, oh, you can regrow that.
Oh, that's terrible. That's not how that works, but fair enough.
But you can technically regrow your hymen if you want.
Yeah, but can she bleed?
I'm assuming yes, because she is able to receive physical damage.
She's had her whole skull exposed and there was no blood.
Yeah, she doesn't really bleed. It's not really a thing she does.
Not to say, would these bodies even be built with that ability?
No.
I'm sure
That's a downside, not an upside for Netrunners. So, yeah, that wouldn't have been
I'm
included.
sure there's some hydrodynamics in her or something, but it's not.
Look, it's
Not
blue
blood.
blood, okay? Don't overthink it.
You just put a squib in her. Hey, it would work.
All Karen hears is a squid and goes, actually,
And Krill goes,
No,
working on the tentacles.
so
I've got a guy.
who goes where, who does what?
We're chilling out for the breakfast, unless we want to just skip past that.
Did you get sent anything from Troy, or just that?
No, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty sure Troy is probably wanting to keep it, in controlled systems, rather than sending the data out and potentially making a trail. Or he's having an autistic moment and just didn't send it to us. Just keeps telling us he's got the data.
Eventually coming outside of the... Actually, would Patty know the password? Nah, but she would know where it is, though. So Patty comes up towards the door where Troy and Sabine are hanging out and kind of just waits for a second. She's like, well, I don't know the fucking password since it messaged Troy. I'm outside. I've got, I don't know, some food if Sabine wants something. What's the password?
You just receive the number 497251.
Patty puts it in, and then just as it opens up the elevator and just riding all the way on its gears, just heads on down to the storage spot, and then just kind of comes in with like an actual bag of food besides just some coffee. And she's just checking in. So, how's it going with you two? Hopefully nothing interesting.
Sabine is currently taking a shower, I believe, or attending to some other business inside the bathroom.
All right.
I have the information with me. I was hesitant to send it over any potential airway channels, even over an encrypted channel, considering the sensitive nature of this information.
Well, it's encrypted with Krill, right? Like her whole setup?
Her encryption is secure, and I trust it. I figured, considering the risks that were involved in acquiring this information, it would have been safer.
Did you tell them that at all?
They are aware that I have the information.
Did you tell your concerns about giving it?
I did not. I figured they would have inferred.
Fair enough. You need to shut down for a bit, recharge your batteries at all?
No, I was plugged in all night while I was on the net.
All right. Get up to anything interesting besides getting our shit done?
Occasionally socializing with some of the fellow netrunners, but otherwise there is not much to recall.
All right. Patty kind of looks over off to the side. As you can see, she's just messing with her fingers, kind of just circling around her face as she's obviously like forehead. Forget how to talk. God damn it, Caboose, you're fucking with me now.
It's spreading.
Yeah, goddamn autism. You can see she's
As the only other autist.
fuck you. As you can see, she's clearly thinking about something, but she's not saying it automatically.
It's something on your mind, Patty.
Give me a roll.
Okay. That's a +1.
All right.
Yeah, Patty's terrible at hiding her emotions. Yeah, actually, so we've got this whole thing running, right? Like, we're starting to bark up a really big fucking tree here, right?
I suppose you could put it that way.
So, if we're barking up a tree, we're starting to get into some deep shit here, right? We're not just doing some jobs, we're starting to really make some waves with some people who move a lot of shit around this city and the world, honestly. So, that means a lot in a lot of places. I mean, like that fucking crackhead who was just fucking paranoid as hell that ran off with Karen for a minute, right? Like, he's starting to dig deep on some shit. And I mean, I'm committing, but like, we need to know that we're digging in, right? Like, I'm willing, and Patty pauses. To be honest, I haven't done much shit actively with my life. There's a lot of either reactive or listen to someone giving me some commands. Thing is our chance to maybe do something big, make some waves.
Troy just looks over to the bathroom for a second and then looks back over to Patty and states, "This may not be the best place to discuss the nature of what we're doing. However, your anxiety and your anticipation is shared."
I don't know if I'm anxious though. I've got a knot in my stomach, and it's kind of like concerned, but also like maybe, I don't know, like I'm looking forward to doing it. Maybe I'm like, maybe I can do something with my life fucking finally.
I think I can share in that sentiment. I too have been interested in the opportunity to define my own existence outside of my designated directive.
Yeah, I mean, for me, right, like I've had a good couple decades on this fucking planet, but like, you're you, man, you know? Somebody purposely fucking made you, said, do this thing for me, you know? Like, for me, it was probably just some two dickheads fucking and just pop out, you know?
That is correct. I was not conceived through conception.
Yeah. I'm just meaning like somebody made you for a job, but then you're like, fuck you, I'm gonna do my own thing, right? Like, this shit kind of matters more to you than me.
I know. I was attempting a humor.
God damn it. You gotta work on your sarcasm, buddy.
Coming up with my own jokes has proven to be somewhat troublesome. I'm trying not to rely on my database of humor.
So, big thing, sarcasm, is you gotta kind of like over exaggerate, right? Like, if you say something that's really fucking obvious, like, the sky is blue. Thanks, Troy, that was really fucking obvious. Yes, the sky is blue. Thank you for pointing that out to me. If you go, yeah, thanks, Troy, you pointed it out to me. That just, you can't tell.
Pointing out obvious information is humorous?
Sometimes.
I do not get it.
Humans are humans. I'm no longer going to explain us at this point, kind of figure it out, and then just criticize it. I enjoy whatever you point out. But yeah, so everything's good on your end here, and Celine seems fine.
As far as I can tell.
All right.
She's been in the bathroom for several minutes, and I have not inquired to her current status.
Patty just walks up to the door and just knocks loudly on the door. I've got some real breakfast for you if you need something.
Give me a roll.
Okay. -4.
We're doing terrible.
You just hear her yell out, "Okay, thanks."
No problem. And kind of just walks back over. Well, I think at this point I'm just killing time until the rest of the group's fully up and running. You want me to chill with you, or do you good with Sabine? What do you want?
Well, I believe I am capable of handling Sabine's net needs on my own. You are welcome to stay here until either we are needed elsewhere or Sabine likely will become uncomfortable.
Patty just opens up her codex, sends a message to Karen and Krill. ETA meet at holding or at base? Question mark.
Should we bring her to the base?
Not to the base. No.
No, I didn't think that was a smart idea either. I don't know what I was expecting with the name French Toast. These are very goopy.
I don't know what you were expecting either.
I don't know why I thought it would be a very big baguette. Toasted.
I mean, I think you can get that if you want it.
Noted. Cinnamon's neat though. That's a new flavor. I was right about the milkshake. This is some good shit.
Oh, and if you're curious, that white stuff is powdered sugar. Just in case you're worried.
Oh. Honestly, with how this city goes, I wasn't sure if that was just like cocaine sprinkled on top. For all I knew, that was their secret ingredient.
I mean, I'm not gonna say there's not some in there, but
Alright, like 15 till we're out the door and then heading their way.
sure. Yeah.
TA, give us 25. Me, you at holding.
Thumbs up. And God damn it, I muted without thinking. And then she looks over at Troy. We got 25 till they get here, so we're just chilling for a bit.
Chilling it is,
You want to play some chess?
if you would like.
I have no idea how to play, so I'm just, like robot play chess. That's like a big thing in a lot of movies.
I can provide instructions.
Cool. And then just opens up her codex, sends the screen between both of them as it kind of sends this visual feel. It gives like a 3D translucent chessboard with the like light blue black pieces and the bright white, and then just kind of sets it up as they start going over and just passing the time.
All right. Yeah, Troy just, gives a few tips to Patty as they play, waiting for both Sabine to finish up whatever it is she needs to do, and for Karen and Krill to come over.
So I can't jump over the rook over the bishop and rook castle them there. I have to have no space between them.
Only the knight is able to jump pieces. The other piece cannot occupy or move across another piece.
That seems kind of stupid to me. Like, why wouldn't you be able to jump the pieces?
That was the rules stated of chess.
Well, I guess fucking nerds have to put some weird limits on them. Whatever. And
If you got something, you can go ahead.
no, I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to transition.
I was just going to state, just being passively aware of time, Troy does just look over to the bathroom door and walk over and knock gently and ask, Sabine, you have been in there for a while. Is everything all right?
Give me a roll.
That is a -2.
You want to fate point that?
I'm wondering if it's even worth it.
Fate points can also be compelled.
I'm aware. Just thinking, if I'm going to fate point that, what do I fate point? Or what do I use?
Let me see. For you...
I guess the high concept, the former sex robot, just gives him some levels of insight into people, at least emotional states, inflections in tone and stuff. By rolling empathy.
It depends what you're trying to do with that roll.
Well, I'm just waiting for any potential answer from Sabine.
She responds and says, "No, I'm good."
In that case, I would like to use empathy, and I'm going to use the fate point to turn the -2 into a 0 so that I have a +2 to the empathy.
Okay. What is your empathy?
2.
Okay. This is a woman who just said she's good.
All right. Troy, having enough tact to respect privacy, just...
Patty actually, as he's about to turn around, gets up, says, "So, look, Troy, I know we're trying to, like, be chill with her and all, but she's still kind of our prisoner, and I understand you're not quite, like, a real dude, so you can't get the human shit all the time. But, you know, she walks up to the door, knocks on it a little more loudly. Can I just get a visual on you just to make sure you're doing all right?" Just kind of puts on the official voice a little bit just to kind of say, "Look, I just need to see your face, make sure everything's kosher. That's it."
Give me a roll.
That's a +4.
Holy shit.
I just -4 to +4.
What status or what skill are you trying to use?
Going a little bit of provoke, trying to intimidate her a little bit to open the door.
It's going to be like, what, a fucking +8 provoke then?
+7. I believe. Let me check it one more time. Yep, +7 provoke. So that's pretty fucking good.
It is. Yeah, no problem.
Patty tries the handle, see if it's locked.
It is locked.
Patty looks over to Troy. Can you open this door before I kick it down?
Is this lock mechanical or electronic?
It is a mechanical lock.
Roy just looks over to Patty and states, "I cannot open this lock. Or this is not in a like."
All right.
Oh my god, man!
Patty tries to shove the door open with her shoulder, just pushing through it just to see if she can get inside.
Give me a roll.
That's a +2.
As you do that, the door is beginning to open, and you shove Sabine over, pushing her backwards. And now she has, let's see, that +2. Let's see what your athletics. or physique. It doesn't really matter. So she has now fallen, and she slams her elbow onto the counter as she falls. And she has to take 3 stress, which physical stress for Sabine is, that is literally her physical stress track filled. And she comes tumbling down, cracking her elbow on the counter as she's just reaching out to open the door for you. And she just falls. Ah!
God damn it. And Patty, walks over. I thought it was a fucking voice recording. And she starts going to the elbow, trying to make sure it's stabilized and to see if there's, any fractures, see anything broken, or is it just kind of fucked up in the moment?
It is just fucked up, though it is abraded and bleeding slightly.
Yeah, she just starts putting some basic gauze, just kind of putting a basic, larger bandage on it just to help.
I believe she was cooperating.
Patty, honestly, she's not really stressed from it. She's just, God damn it, I thought it was a fucking voice recording.
I just love the idea of trying to say that. I believe just
Patty, she was cooperating.
not helping whatsoever.
Yeah.
To be fair, there was just a long delay, and I thought she was trying to do something suspicious. Okay, that's it for me.
Yep.
That's it. Yep. Patty just starts putting at the elbow, eventually getting it properly.
At any point, it's is any of this discussion about the you said you were taking you the delay, and I thought you were recording.
Yeah, she said it initially,
so
just saying I thought it was a recording. I thought you were trying to do something.
Sabine's laying there dealing with this pain and not a physical person at all, and she's like, "It was the first Sunday off I've had, and maybe ever. I was taking a long shower. What's wrong with you?"
You're a fucking corporate person.
Exactly. I don't get any time off whatsoever for myself, and I finally get to just take a shower, and you attack me.
Yep. I'm sorry. That's on me. I've got some pain meds that can help deal with that pretty quickly.
What kind of pain meds?
Decently strong, but won't knock you out.
All right.
Okay. Patty just gets up. I've got injections. I've got tabs. Which
I'm
one?
not letting you inject anything into me.
Just does that, and then
She takes
backs away.
She takes the pills and she pockets them.
Fair enough.
I might be sore later.
Patty puts another of the in her hand just so she can have it for now. Just sorry.
So
Patty just
the door opens as Krill and Karen walk into this scene, having spent the last 25 minutes getting here.
What the fuck happened?
There was a long delay between her saying, "Yep, no problem," same thing again and again. The door was locked. I thought she was trying to message some secret.
Your thug attacked me.
We hadn't seen her for 30 minutes. I needed to make sure it was exactly what it was.
Taking a long shower.
Wait,
Don't
you couldn't
worry.
hear a shower?
It was off.
It was running.
This is perfect. This is perfectly normal. Everyone hates Patty. It's okay.
Okay, I was just making sure that she was doing what she was doing. That's it.
She is very
Patty.
precocious.
Patty, for all you knew, she was taking a long ass shit. It still wasn't your point to bust her over.
She was going for the door as I busted it open. That wasn't intentional.
So you aggravated while the moment was already, equalizing.
So instead of waiting for her to open the door, you decided to...
I wasn't sure if she was actually going to open the door.
How long did you give her to open it?
Like a good 30 seconds.
It's less than 10.
15 seconds.
Fuck you, Troy.
Okay.
Nope, don't bring out the claw. Okay,
Look, I already gave her some pain meds. It's already taken care of. Sorry again. I just wanted to make sure we weren't getting our location ratted out. That's on me. I was too paranoid. I'm sorry.
Patty, in what world would that benefit her when assassins, likely associated with her work, just tried to kill her?
Well, you don't know if they were assassins associated with her work. We don't know that.
How's the elbow?
I'll live.
The food's still on the nightstand.
Would sans a Patty being around help the pain?
It doesn't matter.
All right.
It's just a bruise. They'll go away in a day.
Bruise easily.
Did Troy keep you nice and warm all night?
He stood in the corner motionless the whole night.
Okay, that's about as warm as he gets, yeah.
Oh,
She did not request any services from me.
Krill just takes a second. He's got cuddling features.
I don't feel I would. I'm not going to say anything here. I'm just going to shut up.
okay. So
Just say, it didn't need to be such a cold night. That was if Troy was...
Patty, give me a roll.
Okay. -1. Is this investigation related?
This would be, where's Patty? There's Patty. No, but you'd be countering an investigation.
From Sabine?
Yes. No.
Who the fuck is this bitch?
No. Say what you were gonna say.
What?
Say what you were gonna say.
About what? I was just saying, like, I don't think he probably has like some heating protocols or something. That's all I was going to say.
Sure, like you weren't gonna talk more shit about a wounded damsel in distress.
Can I roll an empathy to see what she's trying to pull on me right now?
You can roll an empathy.
That's a +1. So that's a 5.
I will tell you, you were not successful in that.
She's a good liar.
Patty,
She's middle management.
Yeah.
Patty feels like she's being manipulated, but she can't exactly suss out the specific reason. She just says, look, I saved your fucking life, all right? You can cut me one injury by accident.
All right, fine. You never forget. Also, I seem to be better at rolling dice than a lot of you, so...
For some reason,
Hey, look, I bought them. They're official fate die. All right?
considering just bringing my fate die out and seeing if that does anything better.
I've got a
Mine
metal
right
one.
here and a dice tower. I could just be doing this the whole session, holding up my spooky dice tower.
All right, I rolled a -1 on that one.
Not
was a
a hell of a lot better.
I rolled a 0 on that one. I rolled a 0.
What I'll roll.
You forget. I'm favored by the fates, for I live in the land of gambling.
Oh, fuck you.
true.
That is true.
It is true.
Yep.
-3.
The fates do swirl funny there.
Yep.
This dice tower is mean to everyone who's rolled in it. Like, it does get the rare d20, but it gets more natural ones and like negatives and fate dice. So I really can't wait to bring this out of tables to be just like, oh, you're rolling on the Tower of Doom.
It's 2. 1.
Patty's just like, I see you trying to work something. I don't know what it actually is. But she's, like, she is backing off Sabine in this moment just not to try and agitate her more.
Maybe giving her some space will help, Patty.
You want to go outside for a bit?
The other side of the room can help.
No problem. Just walks on the other side, gives everybody space between her and Sabine.
So that was Patty. I'm sorry. This is how you meet again after your first encounter.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, she did save my life once already, so we can call it square, I suppose.
She at least give you the good meds.
I pocketed them for later.
Huh? Fair enough. All right.
Be useful.
Everybody knows
Karen?
you don't use pain meds on pain.
Not much. I've never been able to experience them, but I've met enough scrap sellers to be like, yeah, no, I get it. You use them when you want to be hit. Karen, I think you had something to talk to Sabine about.
Today?
About our contact and their stipulations.
Oh, you're saying I'm doing that now. Thanks for bringing it up. Yeah.
We don't want to have it now. It's not like we have anywhere for her to be.
I talked to my friend. They're interested. This is at Sabine. Sorry. Pace change. Would you like to eat before we discuss my contact with you?
Yeah, I've had my coffee. I got a few minutes.
Okay. They're more than willing to work with you after you deliver.
How reliable is your employer?
Pretty darn reliable.
Give me a roll.
+1.
Okay. It's Sunday. I mean, normally this is outside business hours, but we could wait until Monday until Elise is in the office. Or, I mean, we can try and get a hold of her and see if we can't get something on the books. That's up to you.
Patty looks over at Karen and then looks over at Troy to indicate towards him in that moment, not saying anything, but just.
We have some things to discuss, me and my friends.
Would you like me to go back into the bathroom?
You know, maybe. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Sabine gets up from the edge of the bed where she had found her perch, and she walks back into the bathroom, closes the door behind her.
Do we want to have the conversation on Codex, or do we feel free saying it in the open air?
If we're going to talk in open air, Krill, you could play a white noise scrambler. I'm sure there's any number of them online we can find.
All right. I do apologize about how disturbing this is going to look, though. Yeah, no, I'm sure Krill finds some pretty easily. As she just kind of looks like Troy locking up for a second as her mouth opens and begins to generate a noise.
Give me a roll.
That's a +1.
Krill. We will
What?
give that a craft roll.
So that's a +5 total.
Cool.
It looks very unnatural as this screeching effect is just coming out of her lifeless face.
More
just like
Welcome back to ASMR with Karina.
her eyes look kind of like kill me. She's not comfortable doing this.
You know, I could just put my Codex on and just turn up some loud music.
I mean, the codex can make that noise too.
Yeah. Because we kind of need you to talk, so.
A little bit. I appreciate you showing off your skills, though. Fascinating.
Oh, thank goodness I don't have to do that. Don't like that. I would have just normally asked Snips to do that, but I gave them all the morning off charge.
Use a codex, please.
Can I borrow one of yours?
Yep, just hands it over.
Beep. There we go.
Yeah. Troy, dear. So they didn't. Sorry?
If you believe this is an appropriate place to have this conversation, we can have this conversation.
This is a safe room.
That is true. So unfortunately, the contractor that I was in contact with was unwilling to pursue the information on Gavin. Unfortunately, it would seem that gathering information and diving into corporate information structures is far too risky than they were willing to. They were, however, were able to retrieve a mostly complete dossier on Elise, however.
Corporate dives are harder than the well?
It would appear so. They were not willing to risk corporate dives.
Well, he doesn't live in the well, right? He lives off somewhere else.
He does not.
What did you ask about first?
I asked about the Gavin Newsom's shipping company A2B and the various other companies connected to it, including North Sea, Helios, and Trans Global.
That goddamn governor of California. I knew he was up to some shit.
God damn it! I just fought.
Making all that insulin.
Also-
How dare he?
Also, out of character. No, you didn't ask that first.
Oh, that's good.
I'm tired. Okay, I'm sleep
know.
deprived.
It's just entertaining.
This is
It's crystal clear ADHD all over again.
this episode's just us getting our ducks in a row, and it is laying on you low. I get it. Honestly, I'm putting a little bit of tequila in my monster just to keep me a little giggly here. All the same. You want to repeat what you were going to say?
Yeah. So he was not willing to pursue the corporate interests surrounding Gavin's business. It would appear that it is more risky to pursue these large corporations than it was to pursue information located in the well.
I mean, I can't exactly hold it against him. Like, based on how Ethan was acting with this whole thing, I figured that you're going to be a little more paranoid and concerned around that shit. Because, you know, you can find out where a person lives. You don't fuck with their business.
Corporate espionage is a very serious charge in NSF.
It is why I was unwilling to divulge too much information over the air. Krill, while I have no doubt in the security of your encryptions, it felt like the nature of the nature of this information, the fact that it required this level of skill to procure, it felt risky. I can physically transfer it to your codexes if you would like to.
So, yeah, send it over and then we can see what you got from them.
All right. Hand over your codexes and I will transfer the file to it individually.
Krill just hands her palm.
Just taking the various codexes, Troy just used whichever the most appropriate, connection there is for a close proximity, transfer of data to these various codexes in Krill's hand. As everyone now receives the dossier sheet, which I hope you all downloaded because I can put into chat if you need it.
No, I already got it. Patty goes towards the codex for a minute, but is still doing the white noise. Hey Karen, you mind if I read over your shoulder? It's really fucking loud.
Sure.
Thanks. Just kind of craning over her shoulder.
Karen is reading it fairly quickly and is scrolling down fairly quickly.
Yeah, Patty's keeping up.
Karen speeds up.
Yeah, you're someone who is adept on the internet, who literally scrolls feeds as part of their income, can probably read a lot faster than someone who gets the occasional dossier.
Oh yeah, no, Patty was good for the first moment, but when she really sped up, then she lost it. The ADHD kicks in, and then the ADHD loses track.
Krill was just half the time, twice the time it took Troy to, but she's done.
I'm sorry, that's got contacts on it or something? She's not got a whole lot of friends, right?
She meets with all kinds of people all the time. She doesn't have close friends.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. It's just you kind of scrolled really fast on that last half.
It would appear that she does routinely visit Nextware Fitness.
I've been there a couple times. Not too often, but it's kind of a long distance to go from the well all the way to Nextware.
Is there a Nextware located within the well?
Patty's just looking over her map. I don't see one. Nextware is on the other end of town. Unless Kai has specifically pointing out, I'm looking at the map, right? I see only one Nextware Fitness. Yeah. So she drives all the way to the other end of town to go to some fucking gym. What? She's rich. She can't like go to her own place unless she's doing something secretive.
Well, it would be a potential lead to pursue.
Yeah.
If you have been there before, perhaps you can arrive at her usual time.
Yeah, but like, what's her routine like? Is she more cardio, trying to keep herself thin and lithe? Because I like to go more of a range, right? Like, depends on the day. You got leg day, you got like fucking cardio, you got your weights. Like, what are we working with here?
Is that relevant?
I mean, it is relevant. It makes it determine how easy it is to get in with her routine.
Well, perhaps a few days of reconnaissance would be able to identify that.
I mean, you could always go the route of picking her up at the gym, which is like, ugh.
We don't have days.
Yeah.
We have Sabine.
Yeah. Quite literally, if we were to do this, I would have to go in at like cardio, strength training, and combat training. Is she going self-defense, or is she doing corporate shit herself?
It's also possible, looking at what Nextwear does, they might do some enhanced strength training for her to sit at her job all week and not fall apart.
But that's assuming that she actually does sit at that desk all the time. Maybe this is her hiding something. Maybe she's got like a secret life or something. Like, I'm not doubting that whoever you got to do this shit for us isn't accurate, but at the same time, like, does she have like shit that she keeps on the down low? Because she goes and visits her dad's care on Sundays, I think.
She's there now, probably.
Yeah. We don't know where her dad's care center is, right?
It's in the well.
That makes it even harder to get to.
Well, sorry, no. Luxury assisted living facility in Zone 0. That would be the well, wouldn't it? Yes.
Yep.
Yes. There we go. Sorry. Yeah. No, he's in the well.
Yeah.
Elysium Retreat, the name of the place.
You know anything about that, Karen? You been to that somewhere like that?
I've never been in the well.
I was assuming you might have. I don't know.
No.
So she does a lot of job work, and then she has a lunch, and then she okay. Hey Kai, can I pull up her social media feed?
You can. In the meantime, you hear a voice from the bathroom. Bring me my food at least.
Patty goes over, opens up the door, hands her the food, and then just closes it again.
Just fucking hand just takes the food.
Mm-hmm. So we need to find the times when she's not either directly at work or we need to find times when she's not directly at work and out of the well, because that seems like our best option.
Depends on what we want to do. If we want to put a tag on her and track her ourselves, then yes, we need to run her. But if Sabine is going to do the work of setting this up, that is the primary driver of this. It helps to know this stuff, though, because leverage is always nice. Nextware is the most likely place we would probably run into her, though. Everywhere else is somewhat random. She takes lunch breaks and goes out on the weekend, but it's not at any one regular place.
Yeah, that's the one issue, is she's probably got some private chat that she has with a couple fucking rich snobs just to indicate where they're going next or something.
Or on a whim. Or some random blog post about food locations.
Okay, so what did you want with her social media?
I just wanted to check her times on when she posts. Like, is it once a week on Saturdays, or is she posting throughout the week regularly?
It is, as near as you can tell, there is a there is a lean towards Saturdays, certainly. But also there is the occasional post that you can tell is possibly business luncheons, charity functions, those sorts of things that happen during the week that, you know, she is attending for one reason or the other. So definitely a lean towards the Saturday going out, but then it isn't the only time.
Would Sabine be able to get us access to Elisa's schedule as she's looking at Karen?
She's middle management. Elise is secretary to management.
An executive secretary as well.
Mm-hmm.
But she's Sabine doesn't live in the well, so there's that whole dynamic.
It would be something Elise would probably need to open up to Sabine. I don't think Sabine would just get access.
Although if we could figure out how to get Troy access through Sabine's network, we can have him dive in.
Potentially, but also very potentially risky.
It is a risk.
Dealing with powers that are beyond our own as of right now.
Yeah. I'm freeballing right here.
The items that Elise has are listed in our dossier and are explained as being extremely encrypted and hard to break into.
So we would probably want to get him trained on some of the shit they might have before we do, but we don't have that much time.
So at night,
She's home.
she also resets any schedule changes for the next day.
Bro, you remember whenever we had the car, Dalton's car, whenever you touched it and you reset the time?
I'm aware.
Could you do something like that and change Elise's schedule for Gavin or Elise, and then we could like set it in a place we want?
Where would this be on her own personal codec?
Well, I'm assuming that they're working on the same system, right? Like, if they're like they have some big thing connected, like with the cloud or something, usually. Or is that too old?
Corporate calendar.
Yeah.
A far more competent net diver was hesitant to touch any of this corporate information and infrastructure. There is a potential chance that I might be able to change a simple corporate calendar, perhaps over the hardware layer. However, I can't make that guarantee.
Yeah. Let's put that as an option right now. You change something on their calendar, we can figure out whether to meet with Elise or Gavin, and then we get them on their roll. Like, probably come in right as she's about to go to sleep, or as she's going to sleep, change it up, and then she doesn't expect a fucking thing because it's just like one tiny little change, and then we got Gavin.
I have a feeling she would notice immediately.
This dossier would suggest that she's very thorough about her schedule.
Fair.
Extremely thorough about her scheduling, not just for her, but for Gavin, and she's competent at it. We will have to convince her to put us on the books.
Or we could change the location. Instead of affecting the time, we could set up where he goes to one spot.
She'd notice just the same.
Damn it, why are these corpos fucking... Why are they not just rich assholes?
They have all the time in the world to be good at something.
Great. Awesome. So, getting Troy to change the calendar is probably out. Got it.
She has to do this knowingly.
You have already, Karen, you have already met Gavin on a few occasions, haven't you?
Yes.
Spoken.
Yes.
Perhaps you should take a trip to Nexus Fitness and see if you can speak with her.
I mean, we can run the duo, and then you get in tight. I look like a bitch, and then you manage to pull some tricks on her. Whatever you do.
To what end? So now we are on the meeting with Gavin. She puts us in a meeting with Gavin.
What are we trying to figure out, really, though? Like, because we know he's in deep with these assholes. We know that we were trying to connect Vivian with him.
Out of character for a second, because it's been a while. Sabine suggested where were the locations to talk to Gavin? It was his office, right? That's the one place where Perry doesn't hang out.
Harry, he hangs out in the lounge or something.
I've taken up doodling.
Nice.
Here, hold on.
Hey, you know, it's a great way not to fall asleep.
There you go.
Oh, that's cute.
I like the little alien.
Hey, who says that's an alien, Troy?
Racist. all biologicals look the same.
Clubhouse, a Perspectives. No, that's going to be my mission notes. So Perry doesn't hang out in his office, but is always somewhere around Gavin, usually at the spa or employee lounge. When Gavin's sleeping, he's usually down the hallway or in another condo. To get into Gavin's office, have to go through Elise Montag, his secretary. She has a background in corporate law and high-level administration. She didn't want to work at Daddy's company, so she works at another one. Good at sniffing out a commoner, comes from money, and her family's tied to Blue Sky.
Thank you for the reminder. Appreciate that.
I always have the notes somewhere. I just need to know where my note is.
Okay.
How good are you at blending in with these rich well fuckers?
How well did I do at Gavin's? About as close as I can get.
To be fair, I didn't know, so I can't tell you.
Well, it didn't blow up in her face, did it?
No, true. But Gavin may not care as much about the well, but the people he surrounds himself with. So the Van Cleefs are more likely to tell. And I think that applies here for Elise. So you're going to have to really be on your game if you go for her. Which I can help. You want me to do like personal trainer kind of shit? I can help run that track for her on you.
So we have a possibility of where to meet up with her. Nexus, tomorrow morning. We have more information about her. Someone who might be able to help us plan for what would get us in a meeting, though, what might work with her, is sitting in that room right over there.
We want to bring her into this conversation now?
I think we might be at that point. So now we know, that based on what Sabine can tell us, maybe we can either have her help us out, or I'm gonna get my workout shorts on.
I'll play your fucking asshole trainer, I guess. If that's what you want, you do you. We get to turn off the white noise, looking at the rest of the group.
The only thing that's more in my direction is I need to now pay for the information we got on Elise.
Well, have they asked for payment yet?
They will be contacting me sometime in the future for the payment.
Oh, well, that's boring.
So we just got a favor to another person. Cool. All right. Yeah,
I would
cool.
rather owe something I can do than a vague you owe me for something that we have no idea about.
I mean, true, but also we did set the requirements and the limits on it, so it's an IOU, but not just a IOU. It's a very specific one.
I did
Yeah,
give them a
it is.
detailed description of your capabilities and what you would be willing to offer.
Listen, they want a bomb, they want a bot, they want an auto turret. It doesn't really freaking matter. I've got them covered. If they want a hacking device, like an auto cracker, it might take me a bit longer. It's still not out of my wheelhouse. I can ask you for any help on that one in particular, but honestly, yeah.
I get the particular feeling that the software side of a device like that would be their specialty, not yours.
More than likely, yeah. No. If they need it, they more need the physical tech than anything else. Now, if they need a artificial intelligence algorithm and a learning system, that's where you talk.
All right. So I'm good to let Sabine out. Cool. Patty turns off the white noise, opens the door. You can join us if you want to.
She looks up. She's laying in the tub with the food on her lap, just eating.
Do you need
You
some
look
help?
comfortable.
She's got the towels as best she can behind her. She's like, yeah, I'll be out in a minute.
All right. We're looping you into this whole shit now, so just be aware.
She appears ambivalent at best.
Not so.
A couple of minutes go by, and Sabine extricates herself from the bathroom, now fully clothed in the garb that was provided to her by Troy earlier in the day. She walks out and says, "Okay," and sits down on the bed.
I like corduroy for you.
Honestly, you look really comfy.
Yeah. It's clothes.
Well, if it came from our friend, would we call it Quarter Troy?
Karen, can I have your pistol? I just need to borrow it for a second. She just
Sorry,
popped
I
the
can't, as worded, I
revolver
can't
cylinder
resist
out.
my instinct sometimes.
How much mental stress do I take?
Yeah, honestly, that was psychic damage.
Wordy, give me a roll.
All right.
Krill is still holding the gun. Krill is still holding the gun.
+1.
All right, hold on. Patty.
My provoke roll.
Patty. Okay, everybody else give me, if Karen and Krill, feel free to give me rolls.
Even Troy said it affected him.
All right, give me rolls.
Fine.
+1.
-2.
0.
Okay, you all have to absorb four mental stress.
You
Krill
realize
is holding a pistol at you right now.
you realize that you mentioned mental stress. This is on you. I just made a joke. You didn't have to add the mental stress.
You made a joke that physically hurt all of us, and we
Yes,
feel
and you could have just let it slide.
I'm
Could've
pretty
just let it
sure none of you can absorb that.
Yeah,
No,
I can.
I have to take a mild.
I have to. Is it? I have to take a moderate.
Yeah.
Good job,
Headache?
Patty.
Migraine?
You can take them however you wish.
I'm going to put mine as processor loop.
Okay.
I'm gonna have my headache starting right here.
I'm gonna write destruction sounding a little louder than normal. You just see one of Krill's LED eyes start like twitching into like a red, just flickering.
Honestly, I don't know why we keep her around. I really don't.
Because I take the
Absolutely.
bullets for you.
We absolutely could make her take another bullet right now. We really could. We really could. It wouldn't
Just
be
looking
hard.
at that
Help?
pistol.
It might help.
Krill puts the gun on the table. I'm gonna go build something destructive.
You know what?
Walks out the fucking door.
You know what? When Patty cracks that just bomb of a joke, Sabine's. That's a good one.
I was wondering.
Yeah. Sabine actually likes your sense of humor.
Troy looks over, and at first he's surprised, and then he remembers watching hours of infomercials, and now he's no longer surprised.
It's fucking like an actual knee slapper. It's just like a good one.
You two should exchange numbers.
Patty doesn't do anything. She just hands her a nip of a little flask on her hip.
Jesus.
I'm good.
Yeah, so Krill's headed for the
Early.
station. Krill's headed for the train station now.
Fair enough.
Just her eyes. Krill's got full head of chromia right now, where she's got one like gold eye and one red eye, and she is talking to herself the entire fucking time.
Fair enough.
All right.
Listen, if she did one more mental strain, it would have just been destruction wins, and she pulls the trigger.
All right. Well. And
Okay.
Then there were 3.
You want to give her the rundown, Karen?
Sure. We're trying to get in a meeting with Gavin through Elise, per your suggestion. We have some ideas of how that might happen, but you would probably have a better idea of what sorts of things might get squeezed in on a Gavin schedule. How that might happen.
A new provider. Gavin meets with all the new providers.
Oh. What kind of providers?
Well, if I implied that you were, the off books type, maybe Elise wouldn't ask too many questions.
That would at least fit with our MO. Okay. Would you be able to help us with that, or is this a task better left for us?
I'll give her a call.
Would you think that would make it happen more than just us?
Elise is suspicious. Not of me, just she's suspicious. Trying to get an appointment with her boss as someone who she doesn't know, she'd probably want to vet you fully before she let you through the gates. She'd want to do her homework first. It's kind of who she is. Me, I mean, at least we have a working relationship. It wouldn't be the first time that I put somebody on the books for Gavin, so it probably would be easier through me, just given who Elise is and frankly what her job description is. Her job description is kind of to keep people like you out.
Yeah.
But I mean, we could do both. Although I would probably have to go first because I'm going to try and get you in. And if you already tried and failed and then you show up as the person I'm trying to get in, that would probably, I would need to call her first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not that dumb.
I wouldn't think so.
Patty looks over at Karen and says, would we want Troy to spin up some fake IDs for us? Like, how much are we willing to show who we are to her?
Well, she's going to be looking anyway, so we'll need something. She will, like Sabine suggests, hopefully be doing less poking this way, but I was under the same impression she would poke. I think that would be very helpful to have that phone call, Sabine.
All right. Well, I mean, then there's two things. What day? We could wait until Monday morning, which is business hours, or we could try today. But weekend calls are usually not a thing. But she's very fastidious about her work, so...
I don't think we want to bother her right now.
She's visiting her dad.
Kara takes her codex and throws it at your forehead. Minus two.
All right. Can I just...
Yeah, give me a roll.
Yeah. Just...
Yeah, you just George W. Bush that shit.
Should just kick her out of the meetings usually. Good God. Yeah, let's wait until tomorrow.
Okay, now, out of character, do you guys want to time skip? Is this something you're shooting for? Or do you want me to pull this session to a close for you ahead of this call?
I'm going to ask Caboose that most of all, since he's been the one struggling awakeness. I'm fine awake. I don't know about anyone else, but we know for a fact Caboose is the one struggling. How you doing?
If this is going to require anything on my part, I would prefer to call it here so that hopefully the next time I can have some rest and some time to peruse the VOD and make sure I got all of my information in order.
Well, I already have an idea of how I want to do that call if it happened. We can time skip if you want to just sort of lose Sunday into Monday morning. We could do the call. We could see how it plays out. And then we could end there, which would give you guys plenty of planning time for how that works.
That's fine with me. Patty still has to do the acting coach thing on Monday anyway, so she's just trying to get her ducks in a row before then.
I don't have anything to fit in on Sunday.
For Sunday, all I would need is a small scene to set up Krill's time skip.
Yep.
Outside of that, that's nothing.
Then Sunday is spent largely by Sabine and Troy. Troy just getting the food and drinks that Sabine requires from time to time. What is Krill doing on Sunday?
Krill walks into the base as all the lights, one after another, start flicking on. And as they do in the lab, the arms spring to life as holographic projections of organs start appearing. As it starts breaking down muscle contractions and like tissue samples and in greater detail on like the chemical compounds that can make one's soft tissue. As she is just looking at this table, clearly not in her right mind right now, as she starts designing a growth vat for cloning and reproducing tissue. And as she's looking at her hologram, there's just a and we fade.
Monday morning dawns anew. Who is at the safe house with Sabine and Troy?
Did we ever set up a time for Patty's acting coach? I can't remember.
Your little miss, I keep notes on everything. Like,
Look, okay, sometimes I like to ask and preface before I have to dig into my fucking notes.
I'm gonna be wholeheartedly, that was a Patty C plot, not even a B plot. That was a Patty C plot. We kind of got washed over.
First acting lessons. Yeah, no, we didn't set up a specific time, so Patty will send another message to Tom and just say, "Hey, I'm awake early in the morning." Like calls him and just getting his contact.
Yeah, you don't even get. Yeah, that's like fucking early Monday morning call to a drunk acting coach. That's shit.
Oh, I know absolutely what I was doing.
You have reached the magnificent acting coach extraordinaire that I am. You know who you're speaking to. Leave the message after the beep, if you thou dare. Beep!
Patty says, this is Patricia. Just talked to you 2 days ago about setting up a meeting. We never set a specific time. I'd be good later in the day, maybe 5 or 6 in the afternoon. If you need to do early, just depends on how much you've had that day. Just call me back. Yeah. Beep. And clicks off the call.
Aaron, on the way to the safe house, swings by the base where I'm assuming Krill's hanging out.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh, cool. Do you have a spare codex lying around?
Do you actually come in?
Yes.
Me.
Yeah. Yes.
The room is a mess. As you see, now about like 8 growth vats built in tandem as she is setting up all the wiring systems and the filters for them.
Where are they in the base?
Behind the desk in the lab.
Okay, and that's where you're at?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Karen walks over. Hey, so, do you have a spare codex laying around?
Her eyes just twitching at you. Yeah, of course. I always keep backups.
Good. I threw mine at Patty's forehead.
Do any damage?
I
Please
missed.
tell me you hurt her. Oh.
I missed. Do you think you could make one with like a homing thing? Never mind.
We don't do that here.
Yeah, another time. I just need a new one.
All right. She just pulls open the drawer and there's like 3 just sitting there.
Cool.
To be honest, I thought Dalton was going to sit on them a lot more often, so she hands you a new codex body and new earpiece to go with it.
Okay, cool. Oh God, it smells like cheeseburgers.
It's not Dalton's.
How did?
Wait, the Krill just reaches deeper into the drawer. He put the fucking cheeseburger wrappers in here.
God damn it! Damn it! I knew I've been smelling them for weeks, days.
Oh, don't look in the fridge. Because you know what he stuffed back there behind all of my equipment and like samples.
Cake.
He put a bag of his greasy food for later and then walked out on us. I had to throw out all the samples in there.
Did you throw out the food?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Did you want a blue burger?
Might have a use for it. Anyway, what you doing?
Going where science isn't supposed to?
Okay, just don't get a shot.
No. If anything, this will help us do more shooting.
Oh, cool. All right. Do you think? I'm gonna go to the safe house.
In unrelated terms, if we ever come across a fresh cadaver, that would be very helpful for my experiments.
Do you need me to get you one? Oh, or like, oh, you mean literally stumble across one?
I mean, if we kill someone, just like, oh, I don't know, working back to base.
I suppose what I'm asking, do you need one soon, or is this something we can like sit on?
I don't need one now. The only thing I'm gonna worry about with these first is a little bit of my own gray matter, and I need to go to the doc for. I don't want to clone his brain. I'd much rather touch this majesty.
Oh, you're cloning? Oh, then I want to be like, not just gonna grab a rando for that then.
Not the whole
Right.
person. I just just cellular structure and the like. Hey, you want to donate some of your beautiful genes? I'll just take it.
Karen looks down at her pants. What?
Right. Not the point right now. Do you need me for anything?
No, it's just the codex things. I've been a nice, silent 12 hours.
Oh my god, I'm so glad you got it.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Has anything happened in the last 12 hours? Because I was non-contactable.
I only just turned my codex on now.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. I'm gonna go to the safe house then.
Do what you do. I'm going to go continue my mad ways right now. This is keeping me from trying to kill Patty.
Well, if you need a cadaver, you know where to find one.
It's tempting. It's tempting.
But do you want more than one of her?
I don't even think I want to use her as a baseline.
Okay. There you go. There you go.
Although if we find I'm also looking for a crab. And a
That's
squid.
gonna be way harder.
Man, the marine life isn't as fucked nowadays. You know, it's a
Yeah.
little bit coming back,
Oh.
but
I don't remember the last time I was near a beach and or the ocean.
there's ocean surrounding the city.
Yeah. I've been ages since I've been anywhere near it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I got some tasks for myself. You do you. I'll do me. And you just see her freeze up a little where she's like, how do I complete this phrase? Okay, have a good one. She's still full head of chromium, by the way. There's just right eye's completely blood red right now. Just for anyone who cares to listen in on our show anymore these days. Pat Wordy is trying to say that any of the mental stress we took from that joke is our fault for bringing up that we took mental stress from that.
You spoke it into existence.
No, you spoke a god-awful fucking pun that genuinely hurt my soul.
We were
Take
taking the mental
responsibility for your
stress
actions.
regardless. We just manifested it into the game as well.
Exactly, you manifested it into the game. That's on you.
You spoke the bad pun in game. We felt the mental stress had to be represented too.
I still blame you.
You didn't have to say mental stress. You can say that was a horrible pun and move on.
You were the one that
We
threw my
physically felt
codex
it.
for a reason.
Yeah, no.
Anyway,
You're better at dodging bullets and you don't dodge bullets. So
Now we go to the safe house. Are you there, Wordy?
she'd probably be showing up about the same time, but not immediately. Just has some food in her hands, probably. What time
Karen
would it be?
waits to go in,
Mhm.
expecting Patty to show up. Actually, no. Karen goes in first to see if Patty's there, and not seeing Patty goes back outside.
Yeah, and then you see Patty coming up to the door with some breakfast in her arms.
Yeah, cool. You stay out here.
Well, do you want to give her the breakfast?
Sure. Takes it, types in the code, and goes in.
Patty just kind of walks off to the side away from the door so she doesn't draw attention to it.
Sabine is sitting on the bed watching morning talk shows, something that she hasn't had the opportunity to do maybe ever. And has fully engaged Troy in sort of companion mode again. So they're both on the bed, just sort of sitting up, backs against the headboard, watching the modern equivalent of some Ricky Lake-esque, Jeremy Kyle-esque, Jerry Springer sort of territory. As you walk in.
You know, I almost made it onto that show once.
Why are they so fascinated with short people?
I mean, look at them. They're fascinating.
Agreed.
They are suffering from a very common, simple form of dwarfism. There's nothing too novel about that. It is a very well understood condition.
But look how small their hands are. That fork looks huge.
I suppose I can find the amusement in there.
So what's for breakfast?
Waffles. Karen brings it over.
Sabine opens the package, opens the container, and just picks a waffle up dry out of it and takes a bite out of it. So we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
So who are you? I have to give her a name of some sort.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Global procurement shippers.
Okay, and what's your name?
Stacy Jackson.
Okay, well, I don't have a codex. Do you?
Brand spanking new. But that does bring up a good point. We do need these as like actual identities and businesses. Troy?
I will see what services I can elicit.
Would this be something Krill could do for you instead?
I'm actually not certain. Corporate forgery is a field that I'm not exactly familiar with.
Let me take a crack at it. Sabine says, just doesn't matter. Give me the codex. I'll call the main office. Let me see if I can get you on the books.
Okay. Karen hands it over.
Sabine picks up the phone, dials a number, listens to a prompt, punches a number. Karen, how close are you to this exchange?
Oh, pretty darn close.
Give me a preliminary roll.
+3.
Okay. So you're literally just up on her, sort of listening at the same time. Hey bestie. You hear, good morning, you've reached Elise Montauk, executive assistant to Mr. Vayette, A to B Transport. How may I help you? Elise, just the person I wanted to talk to. Listen, I've got something rather important that I need to get in front of Gavin. We have a new provider, Stacy Jackson with Global Procurement Shippers. Stacy, she's incredibly sharp and cutting edge. I think Gavin would really appreciate what she can offer. Can you maybe find some time in his schedule for her? Oh, Sabine, how wonderful to hear from you. I'm doing well, thank you. I'll have to double check Gavin's availability. He's been rather selective with his time lately, as you know, of course. But Stacy, you say? I don't believe I've heard of her. Who does she represent exactly? She's new to the game here, but trust me, Elise, she's someone who will be very useful to Gavin. Her background is versatile. Let's say, you know me. I wouldn't waste your time or Gavin's with just anyone. Stacy's exactly the type who gets things done. Versatile. I see. It's just that Gavin has a very specific vetting process for new contacts, and I'd hate to set up something prematurely. You know how particular he can be. What makes Stacy so indispensable to him? Just so I know how to frame it for him. let's just say Stacy has the ability to deliver on things other providers can't, and in ways that, don't get bogged down in all of that corporate red tape that Gavin hates so much. She's fast, efficient, discreet. Honestly, Elise, with everything I brought to the table, you should just trust me on this one. Oh, I do trust you, Sabine. You've always had Gavin's best interests at heart. It's just, how these things can be. Sometimes there are other factors to consider when arranging meetings. Things not everyone might be aware of. Exactly. That's why it needs to happen through you, Elise. I know Gavin trusts you, just like I do. You're in the best position to make sure this meeting goes smoothly. And Stacy, well, let's just say she's a favor to someone important. So how about we just pencil her in? It'll be quick, I promise. Of course, Sabine. I'll see what I can do. I trust you'll ensure that Stacy is as discreet as you say she is. I can fit her in at Tuesday at 1:15. Make sure she's prompt. Thank you kindly, Elise. Hope you have a wonderful day. You too. She hangs up the codex, hands it back to you.
Did very well.
Getting meetings. It's a thing you have to do.
Surprised you're not higher up than you are.
Born in the slums, stay in the slums.
Don't I know it? Patty. I don't know how you ever get out.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Tuesday 1:15.
Be prompt. Actually, no, really be prompt. Just kind of a bitch about it.
I imagine that 1:15 time slot is not very big.
It is 1:15 and 01 seconds long.
Do my best to fit it into that. Okay. What do you need between now and tomorrow?
Well, now that I've arranged the meeting for you, what I need is a meeting of my own.
I'll be able to arrange that after Tuesday.
I don't believe that was the deal, though. The deal was I get the meeting, and I get the meeting.
I will not be able to talk to my person with just this meeting?
Give me a roll.
+2.
Okay. Well, then don't be late.
Oh, I won't be. I feel I owe you. As much as I hate to say it, but I appreciate what you've done here today.
Give me another roll.
-1.
You're quite welcome.
Hope we can do some more fun things in the future. I'm growing to like you.
We'll see. Who knows? It all depends if I survive all of this, it seems.
I mean, yeah. That's always the question, isn't it? But hey, living life on the edge keeps me alive.
So, unless you want to hang out like girlfriends and watch some trashy TV, I'm gonna borrow your Joybot here some more and watch some trashy TV, seeing as I'm effectively stuck here until sometime after tomorrow.
Let us know if you want anything special. I can send another errand person on it.
Noted.
Just let Troy know. Enjoy your trashy TV. Bye, Troy.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, see ya.
As Karen walks out the door and it slides shut, it cuts the camera and we fade to black.